Penguin Random House Audio presents The Wedding Guest, an Alex Delaware novel, by Jonathan Kellerman. Read for you by John Rubinstein. Chapter 1. No Regrets. Stupid name for a signature cocktail. Breers had found the recipe online, this tequila Bailey's thing. 7 shots, plus the DJ speeding everything up, plus the pink wine Leanza had drunk before the ceremony, were killing her bladder. When she got to the ladies' room, a line trailed out into the hall. Pathetic little ladies' room, like 2 stalls, because of what the venue had been before. She took her place at the back. Her bladder felt like it was going to explode. No regrets. As if. Last week at the Bachelorette in Vegas, Breers was all about regrets. After 10 shots of her signature Bachelorette cocktail, this rum and some sweet orange thing with bubbles in it. The week before, there was a signature bridal shower cocktail, champagne and grapefruit soda and a toothpick with a little plastic bride on top. Everything had to be bespoke for Breers. Since she'd learned the word, she couldn't stop using it. Once her mom or dad died, there'd probably be a signature funeral cocktail. At the Bachelorette, Breers was throwing back shots faster than anyone while doing a man spread on the sofa in the suite and letting out artisan shrimp pizza burps that smelled like the bottom of a fish tank. Then she started talking, looking like she was going to cry. Plenty of regrets about Garrett. What the F am I doing? Everyone telling her what a great guy he was. She was doing the right thing. Breers drinks, burps, looks like she's falling asleep, but she isn't. Couple of more shots, she's all, I love Garrett so much. I think. Then she did cry. But right then, the hot boy strippers came prancing in like ponies. Fireman, cop, cowboy, pool boy, stripped naked in seconds. Breers had no regrets about them. Leanza was sure Garrett, who really was nice, but kind of smart, dumb, pathetic, had no clue. His signature cocktail wasn't. Some kind of pale ale made from oats? That is not a cocktail. Leanza's stomach pressed down and moved around weird, like she'd swallowed a rat and it was chewing on her bladder. The line hadn't budged since she got there. 2 old women, had to be friends of Breers's or Garrett's parents, got in line behind her and started talking about what a lovely affair it was. Considering the venue, did you know? Giggle, giggle. Old bitches shouldn't giggle. They sounded like maniac squirrels. Maybe that was the problem with the ladies' room. Some grandma not able to get the plumbing going. Then, oh shit, there was Mom. Barely able to walk, her boobs hanging out as she wobbled toward the line, and Leanza knew she'd want to have one of those girl-to-girl talks that proved to Mom she was still young. Oh, God, she was going to explode. Then she remembered. Upstairs, where she and the other bridesmaids had sat in a crowded room and did their hair and makeup, all by themselves, you'd think Breers would share her stylists, but no. Upstairs, there was also a bathroom. Leanza hadn't used it, but Taysa had. Leanza remembered because Taysa came back with the bottom of her dress all flipped up in back, and Leanza had joked, you look like you just took it in the backside, and Taysa had laughed, and Leanza had fixed her. Problem was, the stairs were all the way on the other side of the building. Probably some office space for when it used to be a strip joint. Could she make it back there without totally exploding? Would she get up there and then find someone else had figured it out first, and then she'd have to come back here and go to the end of the line? The only other choice was sneaking out into the back alley and squatting and just doing it. Some dude saw her, his lucky day. The way she felt, she could care less. But the alley was even farther than upstairs, and to get there she'd have to run all the way around the building and then out back. No way. It was either stay where it wasn't moving or make a break for the stairs. And in a second, Mom would see her. Muttering, "F it," she ran. The old ladies behind her said something rude. F them, they were lucky they weren't getting sprayed. Barely able to move her legs without leaking, Leanza climbed the shaky, creaky, dirty-looking stairs. What a dump. Breers's idea of creative. Holding her breath and fighting to maintain control, she finally made it to the top and saw the door up ahead and to the right marked Employees Only. No one waiting here. If she was lucky, no one inside. She charged the door. "Open! I am Warrior Princess!" Without bothering to close the door, she threw herself in. Gross, stinky place. No window. A gross, stinky closet. One urinal, one stall. Figures. She yanked on the door of the stall, was already pulling down her pantyhose and her thong when she saw the girl. Sitting on top of the lid of a closed toilet, her head dropped, dark hair falling to one side like a curtain. Dressed in a tight red dress and gold doomy sandals, with heels as long and skinny as a lead pencil. Leanza hadn't seen her at the ceremony or the dancing, didn't recognize her, probably someone from Garrett's side. Leanza said, "Excuse me." The girl didn't answer, or move, or do anything. Stupid bitch. How many no regrets had she tossed back? F her. This was a toilet, not an armchair. Do your stoner thing somewhere else. Leanza took hold of the girl's bare arm. Cold skin, like not human. She said, "Hey!" really loud. Repeated it. No answer. Cupping the bottom of the girl's chin, it was even colder than the arm, she lifted the drunk bitch's face, ready to slap her awake. Brown eyes, as expressionless as plastic buttons, stared back at her. The girl's face was a weird gray color. So were her lips, gray with some blue around the edges, hanging loose. You could see some teeth. Dried drool trickled down both sides. Then Leanza saw it. The circle around the girl's neck. Like a horrible red choker necklace, but this was no jewelry. This cut into the skin, red and gritty around the edges. Leanza knew she was being stupid, but her mouth said, "Hey, come on, wake up!" She knew because she was the one who'd found her grandmother after the heart attack. 10 years old, a Sunday, walking into Grandma's bedroom wanting to show her a drawing she'd made. Bottle of ginger beer spilled onto the comforter. The same plastic button eyes. The same gray skin. Gripped by nausea, Leanza backed away from the girl. In the process, she kicked the girl's leg and the girl slid off the lid and down. Flopping as she continued to slide, her head making a weird thumpy noise as it hit the filthy floor. Sliding toward Leanza. Leanza scurried back. Staring at the dead girl, she said, "F it," and let her bladder do whatever it felt like. Chapter 2. Sometimes Milo briefs me before a crime scene. Sometimes he waits until I get there. This time, he sent me an email attachment along with an address on Corner Avenue in West L.A. This is for context. Get here ASAP if you can. His call had come in at 10:05 p.m. By 10.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?